Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the StackLeague Tech Session. I'm Casey Kalunad, and I will be your host again for this evening. We have another outstanding resource speaker for this session, and this time he will share with us all about boosting software development productivity. But before anything else, we'd like to give you again an overview of StackLeague, especially if it's your first time to join a StackLeague event. Everyone, please help me welcome Mr. King Bartolome, our growth associate. Good evening, King.
Thank you, Casey. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Again, no, my name is King Bartolome, one of the growth associates of StackLeague, and tonight I will be sharing with you guys a short and concise introduction to StackLeague, especially if it's your first time to attend a StackLeague tech session. So let's proceed. So StackLeague is the Philippines' first year-round competitive programming league with its mission to develop programming leaders to inspire a nation into coding. So StackLeague is powered by StackTrack's fully automated talent analytics and assessment platform, to which StackLeague gathered thousands of IT students and professionals to compete and rank amongst the best programmers in the country. So StackLeague, which was launched last March 16, is a pioneering programmer league gathering over 7,000 tech talents across the country to test their coding acuity with the promise, of course, of nationwide recognition, thousands of prizes, hundreds of tech job opportunities, and also invitation only events. So, since I've mentioned earlier that it's a competition, of course, there is a cash prize. So from 200,000 pesos, our cash prize is now at 300,000 pesos, and it will continue to increase. So of course, tackling wouldn't be possible without our partners. So we have JobStreet, we have Microsoft, Workbank, Rakuten Viber, we have AWS, Caliber, and we also have Accenture. And of course, we have our media partners, Inquirer.net and SparkUp. So also we'd like to thank our community partners who help the league reach as many programmers in the country as possible. All right, so moving forward, for those who are new at Stack League, this is how the ranking system works. So you will start at the bottom with 0 points. You solve as many challenges as you can, and you will earn corresponding points. So the more challenges that you solve, the more points you get, the higher your ranking goes, and the more opportunities are unlocked for you to access. So here are the uh, top. Here are the ranks that is currently in the league. So we have bronze, silver, and the highest is the gold rank. So moving on, here are the programming languages that are supported right now in the league. So we have JavaScript, Java, Python, C Sharp, and PHP. Okay, let's move forward with the Stack League highlights. So, I wanted to share to everyone the one of the highlights of Stack League, which is the weekly ranking both for individual and team category. So now you can find the weekly top 10 on our Stack League website, and you can also view there the overall top 50 players in the league. So, we also have the featured programmer campaign, wherein if you become part of the weekly top 10, you will automatically or you will be featured on our um, StackLeague website and on our different social media platform. All right, so this is how it looks in the StackLeague website. These are some of the featured programmers in the league. All right. So for those who just started their journey or um their career in Stack League, so you can also take the starter level training, so you can level up to the bronze level and then get access to the tech job opportunities. So for you to be able to enroll to this starter level training, you can visit bit.ly/Stack League starter training or as shown on your screens. All right. So we're now getting closer to the Stack League playoffs finals week. So all top 12 players in the qualifier pool will compete to win the championship title. So now you can watch all matches from December 6th to December 13 live on Stack League's Facebook page. For more details on the playoff final matches, you can visit or you can check our Facebook page. All right. So, of course, the top two players of the playoffs finals will be receiving the grand cash prize here. So, for the champion, they will be receiving 30,000 pesos. And for the runner up, they will be receiving 20,000 pesos. All right. So, of course, as we are also approaching the end of this year's Stack League season, we are very excited to announce the Stack League grand prizes. So, for the main league, these are our cash prizes for the overall top 10 players. So, for the champion, they will be receiving 75,000. For first runner up, 40,000. Second runner up, 30,000. And then third runner up, 15,000 pesos up until the 10th runner up of the league. Okay, of course, for the team category, here are the cash prizes for the overall top three teams. So for the champion, they will be receiving 50,000 pesos. For the first runner-up, they will be receiving 25,000 pesos. And of course, for the second runner-up, they will be receiving a cash prize of worth 10,000 pesos. All right, so I think that's the end of my introduction to Stack League. And that sums up our overview with Stack League. Back to you, Casey.
All right. Thank you very much, King, for sharing with us a short introduction of what Stack League is all about. And we have already announced the exciting grand cash prizes. So if there's anyone here interested in joining, please visit our website. Okay, now before I introduce also to you our speaker, it's time for another giveaway. So here we will be, or as announced on our Facebook page, Stack League and AWS are giving away again 5 free courses to pass for AWS certifications. And there's more, 5 coupons with 30% off on all AWS practice exams in the tutorials dojo portal will also be given away to you guys. So that's a total of 10 winners for this evening. So how is this going to work? So here are the mechanics. First, you can submit your details via this link. We have bit.ly/stackleague session giveaway. Again, bit.ly/stackleague session giveaway. So all the winners will be picked via random generator, and they will also receive the details on how to claim their prizes or the coupon codes through their registered emails. And the winners will be announced at the closing program. So we hope you can stick with us until the end of this event. Okay, so you can, don't worry, we will flash this link while the session is ongoing so you can check it out if you want to join the giveaway. Okay, so that is for our giveaway. Now let's now proceed to our session proper. But before anything else, may I remind everyone that if you have any questions for our resource speaker this evening, you can type them in the comment section. We will address them later at the Q&A session. Okay, so without further ado, let me introduce our speaker this evening. He has 5 years of experience in the IT industry. He is currently working as a developer and has developed some chatbots, web applications, and some scripts that automates processes. He is also currently working as a full stack software engineer at Philippine Dealing System Holdings Corporation. And as a Stack League player, he has ranked multiple times on our weekly top 10 and is currently in the overall top 10 of the Stack League individual category. So let's all welcome Mr. Kim Clarence Peñaflor. Good evening, Sir Clarence.
Thank you for the introduction, Casey. Good evening, everyone. Clarence Peñaflor. A software developer at Philippine Dealing System Holdings Corp. So tonight, I'm gonna share my experience on how to boost your development productivity. I've seen some talks before here on Stock League that focuses on the technical aspects in the industry, and I'm gonna do something different. I'm going to share some tips and tricks based on my experience in my 5 years working as a software engineer, and will also provide you with some quality programming memes which you can enjoy. So let's get started. So focusing on a project and maintaining productivity is never easy. Yep, it can be so hard. Sometimes we're so focused on a project that nothing else seems to matter. But sometimes we're just sitting and staring at our computer screen blankly, doing nothing, like that cat. So here are the factors for productivity that I observed in my 5 years experience working as a software engineer. These are knowledge, tooling, environment, and of course motivation, which I will discuss on the following slides. The first one is knowledge. All the knowledge we need regarding our career are all on the internet. So Googling is a skill for programmers. So if everything is already on the internet, then what's the point, right? What's the point of learning stuff? What's stopping us from reaching that flow state or productive moments? The answer is this. Not because all the information is out there, it doesn't mean that we can apply them whenever we need them. It simply doesn't work like that. So we need to be actively searching and learning stuff about our tech of interest, which for me is Python, Golang, and JavaScript. So what will increase our knowledge? In my opinion, it's by reading documentation and educating ourselves. Okay, so I'm going to share some tips about Python, which some of you might or might not be using right now. And let's see how knowledge can be an important factor in productivity. So, Python. I'm just gonna share my terminal. So I'm gonna discuss um, Python tips, the enumerate underscore ternary conditionals context manager. So if you read a lot of documentations, you might come across about this enumerate keyword. So basically work like this. Um, so let's say we have a list of items. Fruits is equal to apple, banana, orange, mango, and we want to iterate over that list and display them on the screen. So we need a for loop for fruits and do some processing in fruit. What if we need to index each item? What if we need to know the position of that item in our list? So the usual way we do that is by introducing another variable, index. Then every time the loop iterates, we also update or increment the index value and display that along with the item value. So let's try to run that. There you go. But actually, there's a better way of doing this using the enumerate keyword. So instead of creating another variable, you can just say we can just say for the two variables in enumerate fruits. So enumerate returns two values. The first one would be the index, and the second one would be the item, which is the fruit. So We can proceed as is. There. So it yields the same output. And using enumerate will save you time and unnecessary code, as you can see. The next one would be, wait, going back to my presentation. The next one would be the underscore. Uh, Actually, in Python, there's a role which regards to underscore. Using underscore is actually a Pythonic coding style. It has lots of advantages in terms of code readability, and we know that a readable code is also a maintainable code, and that leads to team productivity. So let's see that in action. Let's say we have two modules. One is a module which contain different functions, and another one which will implement those functions. So in Python, using underscore as a prefix to a function name, it means that you're using that function internally. So let's try that. Module one. So let's create two functions which prints their function name. So let's say we have these two. And we also say we have another module, module 2, which will call those two functions. So from module 1, import everything. And let's try to call those two functions we just created. And try to run that. So as you can see, the second function with the underscore prefix yields an error because it's supposed to be internal function only because of the underscore. So another usage of that underscore is you can use that as a variable. If you remember on programming declaration, variable declaration in programming, you can use alphabets, numbers, and underscore as long as it starts with an alphabet or an underscore. So knowing that information, knowing this, you can use it as a sink or use it every time you need a variable to hold a value that you don't need. So for example, uh, using underscore as a sink. So for example, we have a task to display 10 hello world on the terminal. So we can just say for underscore in range 10 times and print hello world. Let's try to run that. So basically, underscore here means we got no use for that variable. So instead of thinking for a variable name, you can just put underscore. as a temporary placeholder. You can also use that for functions that return tuple. So, for example, let's create a function, def test function. So this function returns three values: string, integer, and boolean. Let's say we only need the string and the boolean value. So we can just say v1 variable 1 underscore as a sync, then v2 variable 2 is equal to test function. So let's try to print the values. There. Um, but it doesn't mean that the underscore doesn't contain anything. So if we try to print that, we can have the integer value. And lastly, if you have large integers in your application, in your program, you can also use underscore as the delimiter of zeros in order for it to be more readable. So, for example, if 10 million, huge number. For example, if 10 million, then we can write it like this: 10, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And also I can use underscore to make it more readable. Group the zeros. Wait. And they yield the same output. So the third tip would be ternary conditionals. Ternary conditionals can shorten a lot of your variable value assignment conditional statements. So it can shorten your code. Ternary conditionals can be used in variable assignment which has a condition first before it can be assigned a value. So for example, we have a function here that tells if a number is ever even. If number modulo is equal to 0, return even. Else return odd. So let's try to run this one. So using the ternary conditional, we can simplify this function in just 2 lines of code. So we can just say add or even number, then return even if number modulo 2 is equal to 0, else add. So let's try. Let's play the 2 output. Add or even. There. It also yields the same output. And also you can implement that in this comprehension. You can implement ternary conditionals in filtering a list. Say we have a list of integer. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we want another list to only contains the even number and that integer list. So the usual way we implement that kind of logic is to create a for loop for item integer, then check whether it's an even number. Item module is zero. Let's put up. So it only returns all the even numbers. But like before, we can also simplify this one using the ternary conditionals and in list comprehension. So instead of creating these 3 lines of code, we can just simplify it into one. So x for x in integer. If x module 2 is equal to 0. There. So basically, it also returns the same output. Lastly, the context manager in Python. So if you're developing a large application, you might encounter a moment which you need to open a file and do some processing, do some stuff, then output the content or do something with the content, then close the file. But sometimes we forgot to close all the resources we are using, and not just on file. Um, Sometimes you also forgot to close DB connections and stuff like that. So with the context manager, you can rest assured that those resources will be closed after a certain logic is implemented. So in order to do that, we need to make use of the with keyword. So the usual way we do things is like this one. F is equal to F, open file.txt. Then do some processing of the read and close that file. So we can simplify this using the with keyword, and it goes like this: with open file.txt as F, then content is equal to F.read in content. And if we implement it this way, we don't need to close the F. After the with clause is executed, it will automatically be closed. So going back to my presentation, um, so if you imagine you're coding thousands of lines of code, this little knowledge in Python is gonna help you a lot. So investing in learning stuff about your preferred tech is always going to be worth it. Another aspect is documentation. Documentation can contribute to future productivity, not just for you, but for your teammates. We always forget about this part, even though this is one of the most important with regards to code maintainability. This will help us build knowledge to share. Not only reading documentation is necessary for productivity, but also writing one. And there are also applications out there that can automatically write documentation for you, especially on creating APIs on the backend. Um, there are lots of ways to document our code. Some argue that if you write really good code, the code speaks for itself. But in my opinion, documenting is still the best way to ensure fast knowledge transfer and to maintain its readability. We can document our code using inline. It depends on the programming language, inline comments. And there are also standard ways of doing that depending on the language. We can also document our code using external files. like text or Markdown. And if you're using VS Code like me, it's easy to document using Markdown because VS Code can render Markdown on the screen, formatted docs, so it's easier to write documentation. So let's see that in action. Um, so in VS Code, you can create a file, say doc.md, and right click that file, then open preview. You can also create a split screen and drag that preview there so it's easier to edit. So like the other markup languages, um, Markdown also has formatting specs and it's pretty straightforward. So for headings, you can just use the pound sign. Um, for subheadings, also pound sign. One, two, three. And the good thing about Markdown, you can convert Markdown documents into HTML. So, and you can also convert HTML into PDF. So, if you have a thesis ongoing right now, you can use Markdown for formatting stuff. Then, aside from Markdown, you can also document our code inline depending on what language you're using. So, for example, in JavaScript, I'm gonna share my VS Code right now. So, for example, in JavaScript, suppose we want to document our code. So, function add our event. We can use the multi-line comment. And in VS Code, it automatically um, create the code scaffold for you. So, on the first line, wait, I'm gonna implement the function first. If number modulo 2 equal to 0. So on the first line would be the function name and function description. And the middle line should be the parameter description and data type. And then also write on the last line the return value. So whenever we call this function, we have a summary here of what that function can do. So it's easier. Uh, so it's easier in reading and writing code. Then back to my presentation. So going back, um, lastly, we can improve our knowledge by grinding on competitive programming platforms like StackLeague or sites that offer programming challenges. There are other sites like that also, which you can explore. LeetCode, HackRank, StackLeague. Next on our list is proper tooling. So there are plenty of developer tools out there. We just need time to explore and try out things that suit our needs. There's no better IDE, no better code editor. It will all depend on our preference. The important thing is we are comfortable with the tools that we are using. So here are some tools that I am personally using, and as you notice, I also put unit test. I forgot to put unit testing there. So the first one is Git. Git is a version control tool which makes it easier to track code changes and version releases. You can also deploy, upload your source code remotely to ensure that you always have a copy. There are also online repositories out there like GitHub, GitLab, Bitbucket, and so on. This will be also very useful if you're working in teams. So each of you can work on separate branches, but still working on a single project. This GitHub, GitLab is most popular in open source projects because Git is a open collaboration tool that lets the bunch of developers work on a single project. Um, Wait, I'm gonna open another presentation to continue that one. Okay, so going back to that, okay. Just gonna share my screen because the presentation is not working. There. So the next one would be the linter. So if you're using VS Code like me, depending on what programming language you're using, there's already a linter running in the background. Or if not, VS Code would ask you to choose one. It's one of the most useful tool to catch bugs early on. It sets code standards that maximizes code readability. So especially if you're using JavaScript, since in JavaScript there's a lot of ways in implementing a single logic. So having a linter would be good. On VS Code, in order to browse for linter, you just need to go to the plugins, then search for what language you're looking for. Then third one would be Vim. You probably noticed earlier I was using a text editor on the terminal. It's Vim. Just like what I've said before, choosing a text editor really boils down to preference. So why do I use Vim? For me, it's easier to produce tons of code using this text editor. It basically speeds up writing stuff on your computer. You don't even need a mouse to navigate the text editor. In Vim, you only need your keyboard to navigate on the entire code. You can also match patterns, delete individual lines, delete multi-lines, and search some stuff and replace it. So lastly would be unit testing. This one is an essential tool that every programmer needs to ensure that the project has. Um, Unit testing ensure that our code runs exactly the way we want it. It's a common misconception actually that writing test is counterproductive and will make you spend more time. But actually, in the long term, this actually saves a lot of time and headache. In software development, there are a lot of tests that can be implemented, and unit testing is one of them. And unit testing is the one that we are responsible with as programmers. There's also a programming approach called the test driven development or TDD. It's an approach where you write the test first, then write the code that fits the test. Just like the programming challenges in StackLeague. Basically, it's an implementation of unit testing. Um, it's a fail first approach, fail first, fail fast, which is good instead of your code failing late on production. So another thing is creating your own tool. I believe that good developers can create their own tools. They automate stuff to speed things up that are tedious to do manually. But before you create your own tool, you should consider first if it already exists on the internet because there's a good chance that the script that you want to implement is already out there and you shouldn't reinvent the wheel. But yep, developers create their own tools. Good developers create their own tools. Next would be environment. So experts say that your environment influences the way you do stuff. Um, Basically, you are your own environment. So designing the environment also means designing your own life. And minimizing distraction is key to productivity. So having a good coding environment is productive. Environment I am using. What I did to increase my focus is to dual boot my laptop to remove unnecessary distraction when I am coding. One is Windows, where I can watch Netflix or play games occasionally, and the other one is Ubuntu Linux, where all my software development projects are done. Also, familiarization with the environment is important. So, if you're using Linux, you should be familiar with the terminal, the bash terminal, or at least you know the basic commands. Moving files, copying files, changing directories, checking current working directories, etc. That software development technology comes along with a CLI tool like the Git. So being comfortable in the command line will surely improve your productivity. I also use a Chrome plugin called the Newsfeed Eradicator. So what is what it does basically is it removes all the newsfeed in your social media, so you can focus on the thing you're doing. Um, It can work on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and even GitHub. And lastly, the fish shell. Uh, it's a modern Unix terminal. It has all the capability of the Bash terminal with improved features like auto suggestion. Like what you've noticed earlier, I'm using fish shell. So there's auto suggest on every command I type. The auto-suggest feature is helpful enough, especially when you're dealing with lots of different technologies in your arsenal. So it will be easier to remember commands instead of searching it all over the internet. The fish shell also learns and remembers all your common terminal commands and will suggest the most likely one. And lastly is motivation. Uh, Motivation, the process that initiates, guides, and maintains goal-oriented behaviors. In short, it's what keeps us going. This is the most important factor for productivity. And to fuel motivation, you can check YouTubers with tech content or follow some famous programmers on Twitters, on FB, or even on TikTok. Um, or maybe check Hacker Noon or TechCrunch or Dev.to for cool programming projects which might inspire you. There's tons of things you can do to inspire passion and motivation. No matter how much knowledge you have, even though you know everything about tech, no matter how much effort you put into, or even if you have the best tools in your arsenal, or you have the perfect environment, if you lack motivation, you lack the drive to do stuff. So this one is important. Also, another skill to equip yourself is discipline. Some say that discipline is more important than motivation. So, in case you don't have motivation, discipline will help you get through the day. If no one motivates us, we need to motivate ourselves. So, that ends my presentation. We can now proceed to the Q&A.
Okay, so thank you very much, Sir Clarence, for that very informative and helpful talk. We are now going to open the floor for our questions. And while we wait for everyone to write in their questions, we would like to uh, announce first again our uh, our playoffs finals week will start on December 6th. It will be up until December 13th. So if you guys are interested in watching or supporting your friends who will compete during those matches, you can check out our Facebook page. We will live stream the competition there. Okay, so let's go over the questions here or on our comment section. Let's see if we find the comments. Okay, let's scroll through. Okay, so we have one from Ichigo. Now, wait a moment. Okay, here you go. So the question is okay, this one. As our top contenders here in Stack League, Sir Clarence, can you share
Okay.
some tips po on how to land on the weekly top 10 in Stack League?
I think if you're on gold already, you should create problems rather than
Mm-hmm.
solving them. You should create tons of problems because in gold, I mean in master level, if you create a problem, I think you can gain as much as 4,000 points, something like
Mm-hmm.
that. So I think it's actually helpful to create problems than solving them.
Okay, so that's a great tip. By the way, if you guys didn't know, Sir Clarence is currently in our overall top 10. So he is one of our recurrent winners here in Stack League. So that is for his tips on how to land in the weekly top 10. Okay, so let's go over some of the questions again here. Let me just backtrack a little bit. Maybe we've missed some. Okay, here we go. We have from uh okay, I'll flash it here from Raiden Shogun. What challenges do you usually encounter as a developer?
Good question. I think it's communicating the business requirements. So if you're gonna land a job as a developer, you should always listen or assess carefully the business requirements because that will um, end up as a headache later on if you don't focus on that. So yeah, those are some challenges. Business
Okay, so
requirements.
business requirements, or do you mean the deadlines, Sir Clarence?
Not exactly. I mean,
Mm,
for example, you're gonna develop some application. The business will decide on what feature, how you're going to implement it, stuff like that. Before it will actually gonna be transferred into code, you need to read features
mm-mm.
first, feature requirements. So that
Okay, so is it a usual uh, challenge for you to be able to meet, let's say, what your client wants and what you see is actually more, you think, let's say, you think it's more effective, but then your client wants another thing. So is that
yep,
a usual challenge for you?
yeah.
Okay, so
Basically, yep, that's it. Because if you're a hardcore developer, you imagine that you're gonna sit uh, in front of your computer all day coding.
Mhm,
Actually, it's not like that. You also need to communicate. So communication is a large factor in
mhm,
software development. So because you're gonna ask some questions, especially on the business side. So you can develop the things that they want instead of the things that you want as a developer. That's an important
mhm.
factor.
Okay, so communication is very important then
Yep.
between developers and their clients. So uh, they will be able to come up with what is very, let's say, what, or they have to reach a common ground.
Yep.
Okay, thank you very much for sharing that one, Sir Clarence. So we have another one here. Okay, again from Raiden Shogun. What big improvements are you most proud of in terms of developing software?
Um, since being exposed in a corporate environment, I learned a lot of tools that can be used compared to being in college. For
Mm-hmm.
example, in college, you probably be using flash drive for creating versions of your applications and just creating duplicate copy of your app version 1, version 2, final, this is the last version. You probably named your application like that.
Mm-hmm.
But since I'm already working in a corporate environment, of course, we're not using that anymore. We use
Mm-hmm.
version control systems. Working on a company, on a corporate company, will teach you a lot of stuff in software development. Then that's one
Mm-hmm.
improvement. Also, you get exposed to latest technology. For example, when I interned and got a job on my internship,
Mm-hmm.
we used computer vision to detect things. Our project is about vehicle counter. So basically, it detects the traffic on that area. It counts all the vehicles, then assess the traffic. Then we also have a project called the Coffee Bean Defect Analyzer, which
Mm-hmm.
basically just grade each coffee bean instead of doing it manually. So
Oh.
the big improvement is I got those experience now, so I can use it in the future.
Okay, so that are very good experiences then. So before, when you were still a student or in university, I'm sure we have a lot of students, by the way, attending this session. So maybe they can also relate on this one. You only have limited resources, and
Yeah.
when you started working, you become part of the working class. You were able to expand your resources already, so now it's a lot more convenient than when you were still studying. Okay, that's very great then. Thank you so much for answering. We have another question here. Sir Clarence, what advice do you have in stopping procrastination po?
Um, I think that's hard. um, if you're a procrastinator, I think you should start getting up early to force yourself to do something. Before in college, I was a night owl, so usually do all nighters almost every night to finish projects.
Mhm.
But I just discovered recently that it's more productive in the morning because after you wake up, you have that surge of energy with you. That initial amount of energy, I think you can do that. You can exploit that actually on your projects. Then on so later in the afternoon you can do the procrastination.
Wow, so that's a very great advice then. So force yourself to get up in the morning because in Sir Clarence's case, he discovered that it's more productive to do that, to do your tasks first. And
Yep.
then later you can maybe unwind a bit in the afternoon. You can do your procrastination. So get yourself to do the task. So that's probably the only way. You've also mentioned that a while ago, Sir Clarence, you mentioned that some say discipline is more
Important
important
and
than,
motivation.
yes.
Yep.
So you have to also practice discipline. Okay, thank you very much for that advice, Sir Clarence. Let's go to the next question we have from JD Bads Gaming. How to improve in programming or developing something that is IT related? So I guess this is a more general question.
Uh, yep. Use StackLeague. You can use StackLeague to learn stuff and try to solve as much as problem. And if you get stuck on a problem, don't be ashamed on using the internet to find similar algorithm for that kind of problem. Then try to implement that on the StackLeague problem.
Okay, thank you
Then
so
rinse
much.
and repeat.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much, Sir Clarence. That's a very great plugin. You can try competing, or you can try joining Stack League, or maybe if there are other let's say competitions you can join from your school, from maybe in your workplace. So that's fine as long as you can practice your programming skills, and then don't be afraid to consult the internet whenever you're stuck on something. Okay, thank you very much for that great advisor, Clarence. We have from Alvin Donato. What is your tips in creating documentation for capstone projects? What is needed to be included?
Mm, I think there should be two documentation. One is
Mhm,
for the project description and what
mhm,
does that project do for your school. Then another one would be the technical aspect, the technical documentation for programming, for the technical aspect of the code. So first one to be included, especially are all the functions. If you're creating a library on your project, all
mhm,
functions there should be documented, and also the module. Then after you completed all that stuff, you can proceed with the
mhm,
overall documentation. And I suggest you should browse GitHub for inspiration. Um, there are lots of projects there that are well documented, so I think you can learn a thing or two on
mhm.
GitHub projects. That's it.
Okay, so I hope that answers your question, Sir Alvin. Okay, we have another one from Keigo Yamamoto. What would your best message be for aspiring future developers?
Um, that's right. I think if you're going to try something, might as well go all the way. Um,
Mhm.
or if you don't want to try that, might as well never try at all. Yeah.
Okay, so a do or die thing.
Yep.
So uh, give it your best shot. Okay, thank you very much, Sir Clarence. We have another one from AMZ Madrid. What should students think about while choosing a capstone project?
Good question. I think in choosing a project or any project in general, you should think of a problem first, because your project should be the solution, the technical solution to to that problem. We as a programmer, we are problem solver. So just think of common problems that you or your friends might encounter. So it should be it. It's a good first step.
Okay, so you have to consider the problems. Maybe you and your friends encounter some challenges, and maybe you can develop or you can choose from that one. So
Yep.
in that way, you can also contribute in improving the digital or yeah, the digital space. Okay, thank you very much for that suggestion and advice also, Sir Clarence. We have another question. This one is quite long. We can't, I think we can't flash all. Oh, okay, so it's too long. Let me read it from our Facebook page. Okay, so he said here, this is from Rod. Wait. Okay. This is from Rod Lester A. Moreno. Good evening. Thank you for the very informative speak. I too dual boot Windows with Ubuntu for the same reasons you just stated.
Nice, nice.
I
Okay.
couldn't agree more that it boosts productivity. One thing I have difficulty with, however, is choosing what language to focus on. I am currently learning full stack development because of the employment opportunities, but as a computer science sophomore, we are taught mainly C++, Java, and Python. Can you recommend one language from what I have mentioned that I can focus on the side, which can improve my learning speed to all of them?
I advise that you should learn the language you're most comfortable with. I think it's not about the language. It's
Mhm.
about your comfortability and mastery of a certain language. I think those all language has a lot of employment capability naman. So
Mhm.
just pick one.
Okay, so it's not really on the programming language part.
Yep.
So it's where you are more comfortable in using. So that would also affect in how or your speed in learning to maybe and also discovering other languages or learning other languages.
Yeah. But
Okay.
as a side note,
Mhm.
Python is the most popular language along
Mhm.
those three. So try to grind on Python.
Okay, so additional uh, tip from Sir Clarence, try to uh, expand more on Python because it's popular. Most
Yep.
probably, that would also be very helpful for you in your employment opportunities. Okay, so thank you very much for this comment, also, Rod Lester Moreno. Next is, yeah, so we have one commenter here from Reyes Paul. Understanding the use of each language can also help you decide. So, whenever or which one you're more comfortable with, the depth of your understanding of the language can also help you decide. Thank you very much for this comment, Reyes Paul. Okay, we have one question here out of curiosity from Audrey Coronel. Out of curiosity daw po, what is your favorite software on your computer?
Terminal, because by using the terminal, I can access almost of the applications here in Linux. So the terminal.
The terminal. Okay, so it's very convenient for you also, Sir Clarence. Okay, thank you very much for that question. And do we have any last minute or mga pahabol na questions from our audience and participants? Let's see. Let's wait for a few minutes. Before we go through, or just to give you time, if you have any other questions, let me again. Let me again show here for our announcements. Again, we have the Stack League finals next week. So we are going to stream the matches live on our Facebook page. That will be from December 6th to December 13th. You can refer to this one here, which match you want to watch, or if you want to watch all of them, that's also That's better actually. So if you want to watch the competition live or if you want to support your friends competing, all matches will start at 6 p.m. on these dates. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, we have a few more questions.
Okay.
Is this okay? Is this question? Let's try this question. I think this is also out of curiosity. Do you play games, po?
Yep. Occasionally. League of Legends and
Okay,
Pokemon.
so okay, so League of Legends and Pokemon. Is that also a good way to keep the motivation, Sir Clarence, in like to have the balance?
It's a good way to vent frustrations.
Okay, so playing games for Sir Clarence is a good way to vent frustration.
Yep.
Uh, so to answer your question, yes, he does play. Next is okay. This one is from Audrey Maglaya Martinez. We have how important framework to
Uy, good
use or
question.
mm-hmm,
Yep, it's a good question. So, like I've said on my presentation, don't reinvent the wheel.
mm-hmm,
So, if you stumble upon a good working framework out there, you should
mm-hmm,
use that,
mm-hmm,
because some developers spend a lot of time considering a lot of different things in order for that framework to use. To be useful, so using framework are so important, especially in working in corporate
mm-hmm,
job. Um, so you can't use vanilla JavaScript right now. There's um, a low amount of opportunity for that. So if you're using framework, it will boost your employability. Um, I think the popular frameworks right now is React, Angular,
mm-hmm.
um, basically all the talks here on StackLeague before. They talk about frameworks, so better watch those. Ayun.
All right. Thank you again for that plug in, Sir Clarence. So, yes, we did have sessions about React JS and Angular. So, if you want to uh, watch or rewatch those events, uh, we don't remove them on our Facebook page. You can browse through them if you want to learn more. And as Sir Clarence have mentioned, it's very important for you to utilize existing frameworks because developers have already worked hard on that one. So you can
Yep.
also use those frameworks. Okay, so I think no more questions here. So that wraps up our Q&A session for this event. Thank you again, Sir Clarence, for sharing your expertise in uh, to all our Stack League participants here. And we hope you guys have also learned a lot on this tech session. Okay, so thank you again, Sir Clarence, for imparting your invaluable knowledge with us. Thank you also to everyone for your questions. We hope this has been a very fruitful session. Thank you,
Yep.
Sir Clarence.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, so that is the last one, or that sums up our Q&A session. Now, again, so I've already announced this many times in or during the session. You can watch the playoffs finals week on our Stack League Facebook page. Okay, so now it's time to announce our giveaway winners. Okay, I'd like to ask for your understanding if I ever pronounce your name incorrectly. I'm very sorry. Okay, so here it is. It's time to announce who are our 10 lucky winners for our giveaway. Okay, so for the free AWS Certified Solutions Architect Associate video course, we have two winners, Crizel Jane Lonzaga and Franz Lester Eusebio. So those are our two winners for the SAA video course. The next one would be for the free AWS Certified Developer Associate CDA video course. We have Amzi Madrid. So one winner for this one. And for the third one, free AWS Certified SysOps Administrator Associate video course. We have two winners, Aaron John Caseria and JC Capuno. So please take note of your names. If your names have been called, we will email you after the session on, or we will email you the coupon codes. And for our 30% off coupons on all AWS practice exams available in the tutorials dojo portal, we have number one, Chris Emmanuel Malaka. Our second winner is Gerard Ryan Ching. Our third winner is Melchizedek Bourbon. Our fourth winner, we have Paul Lawrence Reyes. And our fifth winner, Arthur Dumanayos. Okay, so again, here are our 10 winners, lucky winners for our AWS video courses. Please take note if your names have been called. We will send you an email with the link and coupon codes after the event. Okay, so that is for our giveaway. And again, so that's it for our session this evening. Again, thank you for joining us at this Stack League Tech Session, Boosting Software Development Productivity. If you also know someone who should be part of the league, please invite them to register now at stackleague.com. We have already announced our grand cash prizes for the Stack League playoffs, Stack League individual category, and Stack League team category. You can check them all out on our Facebook page. All right, so that's it for today's session. Thank you everyone for joining and see you at the next Stack League event. Have a good night.